That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Ford Field tunnels, and the noise level in this place just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Lions get ready to do battle with the Chicago Bears. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Tiger.
They'll run for the first time with DeAndre Swift. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. This defense for the Bears, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So they keep the football, but now face 2nd and long.
76.
Goff a handoff here to Swift. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
58 is the money. 58 is the money. Hey, we got to get this stuff here, D. 58 is the mic. 58 is the mic. Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Super.
Squeeze, double.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and the Bears are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. These two teams, you may remember, they met up at Soldier Field earlier this season with the Bears winning that one. So if they can win again here in Detroit, they'd pull off the season sweep. On 2nd down, right back to Hines. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Play action. It's Fields. He'll check this down to Hines. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A nice throw there for the first down. And this is a big moment for this young man under center. You know, he's had a few months now to get acclimated to life in the NFL, but You got to think, a little extra pressure here, right, CD? I mean, you're getting the start on Thanksgiving in front of the national audience.
Especially since you and I both know he's watched this game since he was, what, 4, 5, 6 years old and dreamed of playing in it. In fact, his family sent us some of those videos of he and his family in the backyard playing their Turkey Bowl games themselves. So now he's gone from the backyard to the big stage, and here he is.
All right, rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. And the Lions are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, Charles, this Thanksgiving tradition, so great. I mean, going back essentially through the full century of the NFL, I know you probably have a lot of fond memories of Thanksgiving Day football yourself.
I certainly do, and I don't have the Turkey Bowl tradition. You know, the families that go out and play and then come in and sit down to their feast and watch football. But I remember reading remember the Lions jumping on the Packers on Thanksgiving Day. The only loss the Packers had in 1962, and they sacked Bart Starr over 10 times in that game. And I remember Dave Williams from the Bears returning the overtime kickoff for a touchdown to win a game on Thanksgiving Day. I remember so many different things happening, but how much fun is it each and every year to know that you've got football on Thanksgiving Day?
They push forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The NFC's Pro Bowl punter a year ago, Jack Fox, on to punt for the Lions, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Bears take over.
At their own 20-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
On 2nd and 11 now. Fields flushed out right. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play that time through the air. 35 yards. No score after 1 on EA Sports. They'll run on first down. It's Hines, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. They run the counter. Hines. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the first.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. You know, thinking of this Thanksgiving Day game, Charles, for years we've heard the talk, why don't we open up these Thanksgiving Day games instead of just being Detroit and Dallas every year, give other teams a shot to host? I know you're kind of like me, a bit of a traditionalist, but what do you have to say to that, CD?
I think it's a great argument, and the league could support it quite well, where you could move games to different spots and still be very successful on Thanksgiving Day. But you're exactly right. I am a traditionalist. I really don't want Detroit and Dallas to give up those slots. I like the fact that we watch them each and every year. But what I really like is that the league added a 3rd game in 2006. And usually it's division rivals, but that's the 3rd one of the day, and it caps off a great day of football.
Two minutes gone by, second quarter. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Come on. 58, boys, 58, 58. Come on. Check, 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 check. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Be ready.
Ric Flair.
58's the money. 58's the money.
Hey, let's go.
Here's a handoff to Swift. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down. These two teams met up earlier in the year, back in week 4. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Here's a handoff to Swift, running left. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 3.
They'll try and run here with Swift. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A handoff, Swift running to the left. And down inside the 40 to about the 38.
64 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. On the handoff, this is Swift. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. He rifles one that's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Bears are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. If you're a lover of offense, this has not been the half for you thus far. Luckily for me, though, I'm sitting next to a lover of defense, and we have had plenty of that, including that interception.
Yeah, and I mean, that still makes it a great game, doesn't it? Everybody talks about if the ball's not in the end zone and points going up on the board, it's not as much fun. I love these defensive battles. Something's got to give with these turnovers. Who can convert them into points? Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
2nd and 7. Off play action, Fields.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Here's Fields.
And he'll find Hall. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now they're setting up a screen here on the left side. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
On 1st down, it's Hines.
Oh, he gets loose right side.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. They'll run with Montgomery, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 6-yard line.
Back to throw, Fields.
Forced out to his left. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? And he completes it to Cohen. Touchdown!
Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy's made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Here comes Khalif Raymond from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And they've got less than 30 seconds to go here, so not a lot of time to work with.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 30-yard line.
The final shot before break here. Goff.
He'll drop this one off to Swift.
So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10.
The ball carrier. He's taken out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
Second and 10. On play action, Fields. And getting this into the hands of his tight end, Zach Davidson.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It's complete to Fuller. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
When you think about the strong safety position, they're the more bulkier guys in the free safety, but that time great athleticism to hustle in and break up that play.
And on an RPO, everything happens so fast, and as a defender, you can't get stuck trying to figure out what's going on. That time he had it figured out in a flash, and he was able to make a beeline to the receiver and make the play.
Again, Fields.
He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A huge play there for Chicago.
They came out with an aggressive mindset to start the third quarter, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them take more of these type of deep shots as this game moves along. They connected there. They expect to connect on more before this one's over.
And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 2nd and 5. They run again with Hines. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 54 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Hines. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Nyheim Hines with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Santos with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Here's Raymond bringing it out. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Play action. It's gone. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He wants Reynolds way downfield. And yet again, Goff is intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. He finds his man, complete. That's Hall. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw taken in here by Fuller. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, This is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish.
Touchdown, Bears! Will Fuller, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now 21-0.
Bears 21, Lions nothing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Here's Raymond bringing it out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Hey, check Mike 21, Mike 21, check Mike 21.
Goff now looks to throw. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Goff's throw taken in by Hawkinson here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play there on the catch and run.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Now Goff to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
25, check 25.
Hold on. Check. Listen.
Goff under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Khalil Mack racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long.
58, boys, 58, Mike. Rip right, 58 to Mike.
3rd and long, it's Goff. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Bears are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, offensively, Charles, hard to put a silver lining on this one. No secret that they had to take chances with a score where it is, and it leads to a turnover.
I love how you paint the picture, partner, because you're exactly right about that one. Look at the empty stares on that sideline. This is one of those games where you just want to go crawl under a rock until it's over.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it exit.
And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Chicago! Well, CD, when you combine accuracy with a big arm, you get throws like that. And Justin Fields may very well be making these kinds of plays at the pro level for years to come.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Here's Raymond bringing it out. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
On 2nd and 7, Goff buying time to his left. He's got a first down past the 30. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
Zero.
Goff on first down. He gets this complete to Cephas. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
They'll run on first down. Swift, and he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
A 2-yard loss brings up 3rd and 7.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. From the 50, it's Goff. Flush to his right. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And the Bears are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
They'll start on the ground with Hines. The 71 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
2nd and 3 at the Lions' 39-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Handoff comes to Montgomery and tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Down at the 37-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. And it's 3rd down.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Chicago, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Lions, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now in the year. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings.